It's a beautiful day, and this, as you might have recognised, is Ealing, or the Red Hill area just outside Ealing. This can be a very advantageous spot to stand on, especially when I'm looking for what I'm looking for today, and that's migrating butterflies again. They've yet to appear, which is unusual. It's the 23rd of September, and something's amiss. It is a very funny year, 2022. It started out sort of normal enough, but it's gone very strange from that first real hot period in the summer, although admittedly it was very dry before then, which is nothing unusual in this day and age, especially here in Nottinghamshire. Other parts of the country may wonder why I keep going on about the dryness, but even in winter and the early part of the year, Nottinghamshire often escapes the very worst of the weather and can remain fairly dry for long periods of time. And that certainly applied during the summer of 2022 as that transpired. It went very hot, you might remember. It seems so long ago now as I sit here, middle of September, or just after the middle of September. But by now, something should be flying through here fairly regularly. And certainly on days like this, and the conditions are more or less ideal, I should be seeing one every 5-10 minutes on a normal sort of day. But what it is I'm looking for, it's not here. At least not in the form I expected it to be. Of course, it's the Red Admiral that I'm primarily after, although I always hope for painted ladies. It's getting a bit late for painted ladies though, but there should be the odd large white thrown in. In fact, one large white has hurtled past at a rate of knots, but no Red Admirals. I've seen Red Admirals on ivy the last few days, and so I thought that with it being a lovely day today, this is the best day it's been for several days, that maybe one or two would be moving through, but it seems they aren't. And I know why. Despite there being a number of adults around, they're still very much in the larval stage. I know that because there's a couple here at my feet. Now, much to your delight, I'm probably going to get severely nettled doing this little segment, but there's some nettle here which was cut down. In fact, it's a very clump that in spring, when Red Admirals were moving through, and I did do a video on that at last minute, this very clump of nettle, a female paused very briefly. It came up the field from behind the camera, settled on the top of this nettle, which by this time was about 3 foot tall, promptly laid an egg, and then carried off flying in a northwesterly direction behind me. That butterfly, no doubt, has long since perished, but in a couple of subsequent broods that there has been, there's once again Red Admiral larva on this little clump of nettles. In fact, there's two on here, and one particular larva is in here. This is the kind of sign that you need to look for when looking for Red Admirals. They do like low, lush nettles, but you're looking for a sign like this where the leaf is folded up. It's more or less directly folded up, almost in like an envelope fashion, rather than a tubular retreat. It's just folded completely up, and the larva lives in that until either it outgrows it or it's eaten a leaf and has to make another one. Initially, with the eggs being laid quite close to the top, you get this kind of effect. You get the leaves that are pulled together. You can see it a little bit on here, and they're fixed together with silk. After a couple of instars, the larva has to move to a larger home, but it has to make one first. So on here we've got red admiral larva in this leaf, and on this we have one on here. You can see the leaf of this one's half eaten. Both larvae are now that sort of typical red admiral larva coloration. They've darkened, they've developed the spines nicely, and they look about third, possibly fourth instar, or maybe just about to go into fourth instar, but I've not opened them up yet to have a look. But we'll get a little bit closer. Now, the feeding signs and larval tent that red admirals make is quite distinctive. Here is this obvious one. It's just a simple tent. The leaf is just folded up and stitched together like that, and the larva lives in between and gradually starts to eat the leaf away. Initially though, it would have been in here. The egg would have been laid in one of these top leaves, and this, when I originally found it half an hour or so ago, was more like that, with the top growth bud and the smallest leaves together and held together by silk, so you get that kind of effect. That's often the first giveaway that a red admiral larva is present, but some moths do similar kind of damage, so then you're looking for feeding signs and larval damage, as it were, at a later date, and this is it. And a succession of these tents, these leaf tents, will be made, and the larva lives in there until it outgrows it or eats it away, and you can see that it is occasionally coming out here when eating this. And if we open this up, there is the larva inside. I won't open it up any more than that. And this is why I'm not seeing the number of red admirals that I would expect to see. To me, from what I've seen locally here in Nottinghamshire over the years, this is a late date for a brood. And again, we're no doubt down to the succession of numerous dry, hot, sunny days that we've had during the course this latter part of the summer. But the growth of red admiral larvae is very quick. They can go from egg to pupa in as little as about 3 weeks. They grow at a phenomenal rate. They're good to keep as well, very easy to keep, and this one will indeed be coming home. I'm going to rear this just in case the fields get sprayed, and this one can then be released safely. So that's what you're looking for when you're looking for the larva of red admirals. You're looking for that kind of thing there. Small tortoiseshells make a similar kind of retreat, but that tends to be more tubular than this. This is more of an envelope sort of thing, the leaf just folded together. So I'm presuming that there's a lot of these around. There's few adults. I've seen some adults on ivy. In fact, I might go and see if there's any on the ivy down at the bottom near you can flash in a minute, because there's none flying through. So that's the kind of signs to look for if you're looking for red admiral larvae.